This was no ordinary morning. It was the morning of battle. Erik woke up to the sound of drums echoing through the mountains, the ground trembling beneath the feet of brave Vikings, preparing for a day they would never forget. But Erik was no ordinary warrior. He was a dragon rider. And today he would fight alongside his dragon, Storm, in an epic battle where dragons soared through the skies and swords clashed in fierce combat. The story. Erik opened his eyes, feeling his tent shake with the cold wind, the voices of warriors outside growing louder as they prepared their armor and weapons. Today was the day he had been waiting for. The day he would prove he was not just a Viking boy, but the greatest dragon rider. He jumped to his feet, put on his leather and metal armor, grabbed his mighty axe, and tightened his boots. But before stepping out, he closed his eyes for a moment and imagined. He saw himself flying high above the battlefield, fire raging between dragons, and the moment of victory shining in the distance. Stepping out of his tent, he saw the camp bursting with life. Warriors banged their axes against their shields, and massive dragons flapped their wings, breathing smoke and fire. But no dragon was like his. Storm, a massive black beast with golden eyes that glowed fiercely, his wings shimmering under the cold morning sun. Erik approached him and patted his strong neck, saying, "Are you ready, my friend? Today, we show them the power of dragons." Storm let out a thunderous roar before lowering himself, allowing Erik to climb onto his back. The boy gripped the reins tightly, taking a deep breath of the crisp air. In one powerful motion, Storm struck the ground with his claws and took off like lightning. The freezing wind whipped against Erik's face as they soared higher and higher. Looking down, he saw enemy ships approaching, their dragons circling above. The drums thundered once more, and the battle cry erupted. Erik and Storm dived into the fight, and as they neared the enemy, he raised his axe high and shouted with all his might, "To glory!" In an instant, the fiercest battle the skies had ever seen began. Dragons clashed in the air, swords sparked, and arrows rained like a storm. Erik's heart pounded with excitement as Storm unleashed his fiery breath, tearing through enemy defenses one by one. But suddenly, a colossal dragon appeared before them, larger than any Erik had ever seen. It was pitch black, with fangs that glowed like embers. It opened its mouth, ready to unleash a deadly blaze upon Erik. For a split second, his heart froze. But Vikings never knew fear. He swiftly turned, swung his axe, and struck the giant dragon's wing, sending it spiraling downward. With one final blast of Storm's fire, the enemy fell into the sea, disappearing beneath the waves. From below, the warriors cheered, "Erik! Erik! The dragon rider!" As the battle ended, Erik and Storm landed, greeted by the roaring applause of the Viking warriors. Their leader approached, placing a firm hand on Erik's shoulder. "You were brave today, Erik. From this day forward, your name will be sung in the songs of heroes." Erik smiled, glancing at Storm before saying quietly, "This is just the beginning." And so, the legend of Erik, the dragon rider, was born. The boy who soared through the skies, fought with unmatched bravery, and became one of the greatest warriors in history.